Welcome everyone. This is a short video that I wanted to make just to show you the way I declare my variables. So there are different ways that you can do it. The book will explain it to you. This is the way I do it, and hopefully you will agree that it looks good. But however, compiler C++ doesn't care how you do it. The most important thing is when you do your code, number one, it's readable to you. It's well documented, but more important is you don't want to make a mistake at all, and you want to get perfect results. So here we have the different types: integer, float, double, and Boolean. Now I'm only going to do integer, and the default is a signed integer, so it can be both negative and positive. You can look at your book and it'll give you what the actual range is. If we made it unsigned, then it would be only starting at positive numbers. You couldn't have anything negative in here. So let's go here and just declare. What we want to do is put in a bunch of tests, get the total score, and then get the average score. So we're going to need an integer here. So let's just say I had 3 tests. So I can go test 1, comma, test 2, comma, and test 3, comma. And then we want to do a total score. Notice the camel case where the S is capitalized. And then we can do the number of tests. And I'll just do num test. So let's go and look at this. We have test 1, test 2, test 3. But it's a little bit hard to see. We don't have an opportunity to initialize it, and we don't have an opportunity to comment it. So what I do when I create programs, I just go and I hit the enter key here, so there's nothing on the same line. Then I'm going to hit the enter key here, enter key here, enter key here, enter key here. So everything looks nice, and then I'm going to initialize it to 0. So this is 0, this is 0, this is 0, and this also is 0. So one of the faults of C++ is the failure to be able to initialize everything by itself at one time. This is the only way that you can do it. So let's just say that we decided to do the same thing. I'm just going to do T1 and T2. T1, comma, T2, and then comma T3, and then I hit equals 0. Well, the problem with that is T3 would get initialized, but T1 and T2, of course, this would be T2 if I typed it in. So we're going to get rid of that. But another advantage of doing it this way, it allows me to put comments and describe what the variable is for. So I would put here, total score for all tests, and then the number of tests, of course, in here. So now we want to get the average. So we have what's called a float, and most of the time we're going to be using double. But if you decide to use float, because that's what you feel like using, what you want to do is type in average, and when you initialize it, you're going to put 0.0. But the key thing is you want to put in an F so the compiler know that you mean it's a float and not a double. But we're going to use double because we have enough memory in here in our computer. Don't have to worry about it. So let's use double. If you want to use float, just make sure that you put an F there. It still will work, but you'll get a compile warner saying that data may be lost due to converting a double to a float. So now we have everything just fine in here. As far as a Boolean is concerned, Boolean is true or false. So let's just say we created a Boolean and we want to know if it's an even number. So we have even is even. And the only thing we can initialize it is either true or false. And then, of course, we would put what the actual purpose of that Boolean is. So this is what I do. I think it's just much clearer code when I'm looking at it. And then especially if I make a mistake, it's so much easier to see than if everything is drawn on one line. But I want to make sure you understand that the compiler could care less about that. Now, I'm looking down here and I'm seeing a red squiggly mark, which is great what Visual Studio is. And that's because I'm missing a semicolon here. Now it's gone, and now I can compile. So this is just a short 5-minute video that I hope you'll find very helpful. I'm going to be making a bunch of short between 5 and 10-minute videos on best practices. I already have a best practices, which is a generic video, and it's not meant specifically for this class, so that you'll see and hopefully you'll look at. All these things are posted on my YouTube channel, which is either in CS210 or C++. So I will put these in announcements so for your convenience, and you'll have them. And so please look at the video, please subscribe to my channel, and please leave comments and let me know what you think. So that's all I have for this one. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.